Welcome to Knife Banter. Today we have David K. David, how you doing?
Doing well, Dallas. How are you?
Oh, fabulous, dude. Excellent. We're talking more of David's knife collection, manuals. All right, folks. We're going to talk David's folders today. He's got, if you remember from his other two videos, his part one, part two of his fixed blade collection. I want to kind of point out something though. That was only like, what, maybe not even half of your knife, your fixed blades? Roughly. Maybe half, maybe a little less than half. A lot of the other ones are super custom and different stuff. We can talk those later. However, today, you guys wanted to see his manuals, his folders. Well, here we are. We have not quite half of his folders out here today. David, should we just jump in?
Yeah.
Let's jump in. What's the first one? What's the first one you got there?
Oh, the first one is one everybody should probably recognize, and that is a 940 Osborne, Benchmade. Mine's a little different because this is the M4 model, which comes with jade scales, or that green G10.
Oh, because it's the Blade HQ exclusive, so it has the natural G10 jade scales with the M4. Comes in at just under $200, just under 3.5 inches on the blade length. It's the M4, folks, CPM M4. Again, the reverse Tanto, US made. It's Benchmade. I mean, what's not to love?
Well, this one...
Let me close that.
Naughty, you teasing me, you naughty.
Has the titanium scales
with
titanium hardware. And then I anodized it just a really low voltage bronze because I like that kind of worn look with the black blade.
Yeah. David does a lot of my, he's taught me a lot on anodizing and whatnot. He's my customs guy when I'm going to custom stuff. Comes in at just under $200. Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, that is probably one of the knives, just as a note, that I carry the most. One of them that I carry that one a lot. Next is a Kizer Nomad, which is a Pinkerton design.
Yep.
Dirk Pinkerton. And this one actually comes with we'll see a trend in some of my knives. I like to anodize stuff, but this one comes with just a flat titanium scale, and I anodized it blue. But this is a S35 VM blade.
Let me get over there and get some B-roll for them. Some close-up shots there.
Has a really upswept blade, but I really like that shape and design, and the feel of the handle's fantastic.
Well, and it comes in at about $180 on the website. Again, folks, double check the website just to make sure that you double check what we do have, what colors and whatnot. Unlike David said, this is S35, 3 3/4 inches long on the blade there. It's got just that trailing point tip on there. Now, one thing, out of all of your knives in that whole bag, I don't know why. I love this thing. I love the belly. I love a belly on a knife because most of my knives I'm slicing with. Mm-hmm. I'm not like chopping down a tree or cutting open a car door or something. This one here, oh man, every time you have it, and I'm like, what do you got in your pocket, David? And you pull this bad boy out. And I'm like, gosh, dang it, that's just beautiful.
Well, and it's funny, I normally don't like to use folders a ton for like food preparation and stuff.
Yeah.
But the other night we were out of steak knives, so I used my Kizer.
So you used the old Kizer, the old...
And there's something about that big, long sweep on it that it cuts so well. And it really is one of the smoothest knives I own.
Well, and the ergonomics of the handle's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep, I like the jimping.
It's swoopy, folks. It's swoopy.
Right. It's a great knife.
Now we go from swoopy to...
very angular.
Angular. Sounds like angry.
So this is a little different for case. I really like case knives, and they do a lot of traditional like bone and antler.
Yeah, they do. There's slip joints and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of really cool traditional knives. This one is different for them. It's aluminum handle, S35 blade. It's a Tanto, which is not really like the thing that they normally do at all.
Well, it's just under 3.5 inches long. Comes in at about $1,516 on the website. Currently, right now, at this the time this video was filmed, we only have the red available. I believe this is a production that they're going to keep running. So keep your eyes on the website, folks. You know, I never really liked the Tanto until I made an epic trade with you for the PM2 with the Tanto and the Flytanium. And hopefully we can do a sharpening video real soon with you so you can show us all how you yourself sharpen these Tantos and keep those the point there from rounding. There's been a lot of comments of people that kind of have a little bit of struggle with keeping their edge all the way through that point without rounding off the point.
See, and I really like a very angular Tanto too. So I like that this one is one straight edge and
then
one
another straight edge.
And I like the PM2 that it has a little bit of a sweep to the second Tanto.
Yep.
Makes it a little more functional in some ways, but I like this angular one because it's so easy to sharpen. And,
Cool.
And it is functional. Like it really does work incredibly well.
I know you carry that a little bit.
I
Just
do.
saying. I've seen it.
I like it because
I've seen
case is there's bearings in this one, so it actually has.
So it's
bearings.
smooth, yeah.
Super smooth, really easy to carry.
And cutting steaks, dude. I don't know. I used my PM2 at a steakhouse.
Did you really?
Cutting a steak, and all I used was just the little point between the Tanto. I was like, whoop, and it just tore through it all the time. Loved it. Anyway.
That particular point in a Tanto is the best part about it, which is why I have another Tanto bladed knife, the Bestech Kendo. And this one's more of a budget knife. It's D2 blade, G10 handle, but the way that it feels does not feel like a budget knife.
Let me get that some B-roll.
It's very smooth.
And the Bestech Kendo with the Tanto, $52 on the website. 3 3/4 inch blade, D2. Of course, it's the Tanto.
It feels really good for such an inexpensive knife. Like, it's not a lot of money, but they're really, really smooth. They run on bearings. They have a good solid pocket clip. The construction feels really solid. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Like, if you compare it to some more expensive knives, it's amazing how it stacks up.
Well, and you were talking about this, and in your collection, dude, you have some like good knives, like expensive knives, and then you have some of these budget-friendly knives. And that's something too that you'll find out about David. He's all over the place with his budget. He goes, boom, boom. He'll buy the $400 whatever knife, and then he'll pick up the Bestech for $52. And it's funny because he carries everything. There's not a knife that he owns that he has not carried. And it's actually kind of funny. I mean, he could probably carry two different knives for at least almost a year without saying, okay, maybe not that much. But still, you could, I love your collection, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, what else do we got?
This is a SOG Terminus XR, and this one also has a D2 blade.
Yeah.
This is one of the funnest, like, little, inexpensive, just fun knives. It has a very similar profile to, say, like a bug out.
Yeah.
Very similar in that way. Really smooth, though. That has some of the best bearings for an inexpensive knife that I've ever had.
I would agree. So the SOG Terminus XR comes in at $55, 3-inch blade, D2 steel with the drop point, obviously. And David, let me switch it around there for the back. It's got like a deep carry pocket clip. So I actually have one of these that I carry around with me from time to time.
Okay.
And I enjoy the crud out of it. I really do. As far as the EDC knife goes, for the pocket carry, this here is a really, really good option. And you're right, it's fidgety. I have to, I don't know, if you guys don't know already, I have to fidget all the time. I sit in meetings, I have this copper fidget spinner, I'll carry it in one day, but I have to fidget. And this thing here, I love that when you pull down on the lock there, it kind of kicks it out just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of time it right, because if you leave the lock down, it'll bounce open. So you time it right. So I've got it where then you flick it, As far as bug out-esque, this is definitely definitely a bug out-esque knife.
It is, and it really has like all the things I like. It has a thumb stud and a flipper. It has that lock is just it locks down well. So it looks like it's kind of a flimsy, not gonna pop, but once it's in there, it's in there. I mean, you really gotta work at it to get it out, but not too much. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's and it's in another video, folks. If you don't remember me talking about it, I found that whether it be Benchmade, the SOG, the Spyderco, I kind of like that axis-y kind of lock knife. I don't know what all the, let me rephrase. I cannot remember all of the names right off the top of my head of the locks. But like that axis lock kind of, able lock. You have the ball cage lock, ball bearing cage lock that Spyderco does. Yeah, I have one in my pocket. Yeah. Anyway.
Great knife. That's a really good one. All right.
What do you got next, David?
Next is the Cold Steel Spartan Kopis, which is a mouthful, but this is a cool knife. I've seen kind of stuff like this, but this handle, like the way it locks in, is just incredible. And this really is like a knife that is designed that you can just grab on and just like, there is
fight a bear.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe
especially with that recurve. Like, that is a wicked recurve. It comes in OS 10A, which I like a lot more. So I think what happens is people associate OS A with OS 10A, and OS 10A is a substantial upgrade from OS 8.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know much about the OS 10, but the OS 8, I have lots of knives in OS 8.
Yeah.
I just beat the tar out of them.
OS 10 holds an edge quite a bit better.
Does it?
It's a little tougher. It resists corrosion a little bit better.
Good.
And it arguably isn't that much harder to sharpen.
Well, and this one here, it's the price alone, $75. $75, 4.5 inch blade, this kukri style blade, lock back. I'm gonna leave it here on the B-roll for a second. I want you to look how thick that locking bar is. I mean, this knife is built literally to fight bears, maybe fight me for my tacos. Even with this knife, I think you'd probably lose because I'll take a lot of damage from taco. But and to kind of show, so y'all know I have fat sausage fingers. Like Kurt has his ham hands, I got sausage fingers. It actually fits in my fat hand. This one here, out of all of your folders, especially the giant ones that you do have that we're not showing today, this one here, I like that thumb disc.
That's actually really interesting. That is a pocket deploy thumb stud too. So you can actually, and I've used it, it works really well.
And you do the little,
and it catches and comes out. Now it's a big knife to be doing that with. But there's something too that I want to mention about all my cold steels that I have, and I have a couple of them. This is a big knife, and my other ones are mostly big knives too.
You have a lot. You like your knives big.
I do. And cold steel, like I've carried this knife a ton.
Yeah, you do.
And they make it in a way that you can carry it and it doesn't feel like a huge knife. It doesn't feel like I'm constantly like sagging to that direction. Yeah. The way they do it is really well, and I think that they really think through like their pocket clips and the way that it's arranged, because this feels good to carry.
I've torn my shorts or my pants on a few of these deploy systems like that. Just in playing around with them. Usually it's, operator error. But yeah, that one there, I love the shape of it. I myself will probably end up with one of those. Yeah. Just for no other reason than cool factor.
Yeah.
I don't buy knives that I'm not going to use. I'll use that, but it's kind of cool. It'd be like dual wield the mermaid in that one. Boom.
I really do like it. It's a good one. You should get one.
I will. What do you have now?
So this is the MKM Colvera.
That's made in Italy, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes, it is.
Fun times.
And this one we traded.
Yes, you and I did the trade because I don't like that pocket clip.
And I understand. I really like it a lot. It's a milled pocket clip. That's probably part of the reason is it's titanium, and it does want to, like, it's so tough, but it wants to grab onto your pocket. Yeah.
This thing here, that's going to take off your pants.
But that's what I like.
You got to pull it out, and it's like, oh, wedgie.
Yeah. For instance, I was under my car the other day, and I had a pocket clip that was a little looser, just from use. And I slid back, it hooked on the bottom of my Jeep, and ripped the thing off. And I was so mad because my knife went flying across. I had to get further under my car to get it.
Yeah, but you're driving an XJ.
Yeah. It's not that bad, but still, it still didn't want to crawl under it. And but this one, I really do like.
Let's get some B-roll for the folks up there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this one here, David and I did a trade. It comes in at just $260 on the website. It might be just a smidge more. Double check the website. Just under 3 inches on the blade. It's M390 with that big old drop point. blade.
Yeah, I almost like calling it a leaf blade.
Yeah, it's kind of like a leaf blade. That's what I was like, drop point? And as you can see on there, folks, it's got that milled pocket clip, that titanium pocket clip. And again, when I got this knife, I carried it for a few days, and I just, the only thing, I'm not a huge carbon fiber fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. This one here looked cool. They had another one that had the titanium blue. Mm-hmm. That's the one I wanted. Mm-hmm. I ended up with this one. Mm-hmm. But I really loved it because it fits my hand. My pinky does fall off just a little bit. But I love how the spine's got that smooth, rounded spine a little bit.
MKM's machining is just incredible.
Oh, yeah. And the blade shape, that blade shape is one of my favorites. Yeah. If it was a tad longer, I probably wouldn't have traded you. I'd probably just taken the clip off,
I get it.
Blown it up. I don't know, something.
I really like the carbon fiber, and I wasn't sure I was going to because I don't generally have any knives that have two different handle scales. I like everything real symmetrical, but this one, not only do I like the way it looks, it is so lightweight.
Yeah, and it feels good.
Feels so good. It's just the right length that my pinky doesn't have any area that it really comes off. Yeah,
mine's like,
this is perfect for me, and that's why we traded. Is because I really do like this one. It's different for my collection. And
I traded David for the PM2, the M4 PM2, but he had titanium, flytanium scales on it. And dude, I love that knife. Anyway,
great
the
knife.
MKM.
I'll buy another one day.
that is, if I could find a different pocket clip, I would have one.
Yeah. I
really do enjoy that knife.
Oh, so next is one that, like,
it's something you and I know very well.
Yeah, very well. And that is a Boker Strike. This one's the D2 model.
I love that they went to D2.
Yeah, I do too.
I love that they went to D2. The Boker Strike, they changed everything over from Oz 8 to D2 just a few months ago, 6 months ago maybe. We got those in. And again, they come in at just $53 on the website. Just right at about 3 1/4 inch blade. Nice looking drop point. This in the deep carry pocket clip. This knife for an auto, the Strike, when it's on budget for an auto, it's one of my favorites. They got the liner in there, that steel liner.
Yep.
The scales patina down real nice. Those aluminum scales patina down nice when you carry it for a while and kind of beat it up, and I don't know, maybe you shoot it off a cliff. I don't know. When it comes to budget auto, that's the one I usually get people when they're like, can you get me just a cheap knife? And and I hate saying cheap because it is not cheap. The thing,
it's really solid.
Yeah, it's really solid. We do a lot of the warranty work on the spring anyway. We warranty the spring for a year after purchase, but we've had times when people have sent in their knives, and we fixed them up after even though they're a couple of years old. It's not a problem at all.
Yeah, it's a great knife too.
It is a great knife.
Good blade shape, and I feel like for a lot of autos, kind of feel delicate in a way.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't. Like with the steel liners and the way the blade is done and the D2 blade, I feel like I can use it.
Well, that's a hefty D2 as well.
Yeah.
That's a hefty blade. So you're made for working there. We have a couple, they're not in stock on our website. We want to do a couple of honorable mentions. David, what's your first one?
My first one is going to be a Finch knife, and it is a 1929. This is such a cool knife. I like this knife so much.
Why do I love that knife so much?
It's because it's so traditional. It actually has an amber bone handle scale, both handle scales, obviously. But what's so cool about it is that it's traditional. It looks traditional. It feels traditional, but it is done so well. Like it feels as smooth, if not smoother, than my highest end dollar knives.
I mean, it's the model 1929 from Finch. It's $115 when we do have it. It's 2.5 inch blade, 154 cm. It's a small knife. I do like smaller knives sometimes.
Yeah.
I used to love smaller knives until I started working here. I do the hand test. So if my hand doesn't fit on it, then I don't know if I want it.
Yeah.
But some of the smaller knives, like I have a little baby Banter. I carry it all the time. It's fun. It opens the boxes in the mail just fine.
Good knife.
You know, I usually carry it in tandem with something like the Bug Out or the 940 or the Para 2 or the Mannix or something. But this Finch, I love it. I just love. Look at that little blade. Isn't that just the cutest little blade you've ever seen?
It looks so simple, but it's funny the things that you can tell they thought about. Like for instance, the handle just tapers a little bit.
Yeah.
And it locks your hand in. Like it puts your hand right where you want to be. That blade shape is awesome.
Oh, it is.
It's one of my favorites. With
Slicey dicey.
Yeah, a long flat grind for such a little knife.
Yep, absolutely.
And I like 154 cm. It's easy to sharpen. Like, so this is a lot of the time, this is like my box cutter. This is like my twine cutter, my little project kind of stuff.
But I want to have full disclosure here, folks. David always has at least 3 knives on him. If not 3, then it'll be 2 epic ones. One usually is a fixed blade usually you have 2 fixed blades, a big one and a small one, and then sometimes a folder or another fixed blade. All right, now, what's the next one?
So this
or
one,
the last one, honorable mention here.
This one is from a recent drop we did.
Yeah.
And this is the Spyderco Native Chief in M4 with jade scales. And this knife is awesome. This is like, so I get excited about every knife I buy. But sometimes I kind of go through the expanses where I don't like necessarily see anything that really like gets me excited. This knife was the first one in a long while. And I say a long while, like a month, where I was so excited to get it.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Again, this is the Native Chief, comes in at 170, right around 4-inch blade. This is the M4 with those jade, the natural natty G10. You know, you're absolutely right. When you're buying a knife, you want to be excited about it. I don't know if I've ever. No, I have. I've bought knives where I wasn't real happy about it. I was like, what the heck? You know, I've had a couple where I've actually not really regretted it, but I've been like, maybe I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I try not to sell them. Sometimes I give them away. Sometimes I trade. I love trading.
Yeah.
I love trading knives. If somebody says, hey, I have this, I'm looking for one of these 3 knives and I have one of those 3 and I want that, then I'll trade you, you know? But again, anyway, so the Chief, I really like it. Lockbacks make me nervous because I've owned quite a few as a kid. I mean, who didn't have the Buck? Who didn't have, you know, the whatever lockback, old timer or something, you know? And yet, that's what I'm worried about. But the Native Chief, show them the thing.
So what's cool about these is the way they did the finger choil.
Yeah.
You won't catch your finger. So I can still, so a lot of my lockbacks, obviously I have to do 2-handed or I have to find a way to do it with my pant leg, like on my buck knives and stuff like that.
Yep.
But this one, I can do it 1-handed without having to mess with my pant leg or anything. And this lockback is so smooth. It's unbelievable. I really like lockbacks because they are as tough as you can get.
How tough am I? I had a bowl of nails for breakfast this morning.
They are so durable. But a lot of them, they are harder to close and sometimes open. And this one is so smooth.
Dude, I was playing with the Recon 1 the other day with that lockback.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I was like, huh! And almost got my fingers because it closed so easy and smooth. I was like, go!
Yep.
So I get really nervous about the lockback. I get a little,
Yeah. But this one, once you get used to it, I just push my finger up towards that choil and it's stuck. Like it's not, because it is so smooth, it would drop right onto my fingers if it was anything else.
All right, well, let's see what you have in your pocket.
You really want to see them?
I want to see them.
All right. I've got a MKM. This is kind of an interesting knife. Like, so these are actually made by Mercury, who does a lot of traditional knives in Italy. Yep. They do really traditional pocket knives, but they generally don't make stuff with like super high-end materials. They're usually pretty budget friendly.
Sure.
But they make great knives. So this one they made for MKM, and it is in M390 and has micarta scales, and it's so
I was playing with this earlier. What else you got?
That's very traditional. It's a lot of fun. I have a cold steel, another lockback, SR1. These are awesome. They come in S35. It's such a cool, just heavy duty knife.
Yeah.
Like so big, so solid.
See, this is the problem. I gotta be okay, because I just get worried about that.
Yeah.
Closing on my fingers.
I totally understand. You either really like lockbacks or you don't like them at all.
Yeah.
You don't want anything to do with them.
What else you got?
And then I have a real steel fixed blade. So this one comes in D2, and okay, it looks weird. I know it does. But put that in your hand and tell me it doesn't feel just like perfect.
That is so weird. It looks like it would be super weird, like unbalanced. It is a bit like blade heavy, but it fits great.
And
that fits awesome.
Isn't it amazing? The jimping's in the right place. Like it really is. There's nice smooth jimping up top.
I really like that. What steel is it?
D2.
And D2. Yeah. You have a lot of D2. You like D2.
I like D2 because it's fairly easy to sharpen and it's tough.
And you just beat the tar out.
I can just maul my knives because it doesn't look like it, but a lot of these knives I've had to re-edge profile. I've had to fix stuff. And the knives that I've done that on that are in 390, 20 CV, it takes a long time because of that edge retention.
It does.
You know? But in D2, you can generally do it fairly quick.
What else do you have? Anything?
Nope, that's all.
That's it?
That's all today.
And all I got today, I don't even have my wallet on me. All I got today is just the Manix 2 with the Flytanium scales. That's it. The Manix 2.
That's a great knife.
I love this tanker, dude. This thing here. I'm going to do something picturesque here.
You should.
And anodizing, I just don't know what yet.
That's why titanium's so fun.
Well, that's all we have for you today, folks. I want to thank David for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Well, dude, we're going to have you come back in and just kind of give us how you do sharpening, how you get stuff so sharp. I send my stuff with David, and the stuff comes back perfect. He really focuses on his edges and his bevels. I love it. Anyway, folks, we'll catch you next time. Welcome to the end screen, folks. If you liked what you saw, go down below, like and subscribe. And if
Dallas, did you want to talk about my other knives?
We'll catch you next time.